There's a war going on, the books can't escape from the team. Call the morning steam, it's time to break, run for cover. That's gonna cover, that's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott, running so hot. Sports make money and we make money back with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice, we might play a parlay. It's the morning steam. What? Ramon Scott, sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money. You know how we do it.
All right, and a pleasant good morning to you. It's time to go live from the sports betting capital of the world, Las Vegas. This is Ramon Scott, and welcome to the Morning's Team Show for Saturday, May 3rd. It's the first Saturday in May. It's Derby Day, and let's get ready for a great sports betting day, but most of all, we'll focus on the Kentucky Derby today. We won't have a big preview or anything, but we're going to talk Derby with you guys and see what you guys like today in the Run for the Roses. I joined last night or yesterday late afternoon here in Las Vegas. Razor sharp picks for running of the Kentucky Oaks yesterday. Watched Chalky yesterday at Churchill Downs. Will that be the case today with the Run for the Roses? And the weather, of course, is the big news there. But despite the fact that we'll see rain showers throughout most of the day, upwards of a half of an inch, should not be a major factor in the running for the Kentucky Derby and the other races at Churchill Downs today. So, yes, rain there in the forecast all day. Temperatures in the low 60s, but should be a good day for racing. Maybe not a great day for if you're wearing fresh flowers on your head, but nonetheless, we'll have a Derby prediction for you here. I think everybody knows. Remember, we said who we were on months ago here. Casual referencing of the favorite, journalism. And should you go with journalism today? I'm not so sure that you should, even though I did. And I'll explain that to you in just a few moments. Let me say hello to those joining us in the chat here today, the chat all-stars. We're going to need your predictions here today for our coverage. Just two big, huge games in pro sports. Clippers, Denver, Game 7. What's going to happen tonight? A near pick'em tonight. Who will advance in the Western Conference win?
Final.
The Clippers take on the Nuggets tonight. And also out west, Avalanche, Stars, just in. Heiskanen, out. More injuries for Dallas. How will that affect it tonight? Why is Colorado the favorite tonight at Dallas when Dallas had that home ice advantage? Is it the injuries that is making Colorado the favorite, or were they the best team overall? But we do know now Heiskanen out for the game tonight. Of course, Robertson's been out as well. So you really have, what can you say, two of Dallas's best players, maybe their best two players out of tonight's game against the Avalanche. We know Colton out for the Avs, but certainly big news out of tonight's big game number 7. All right. Say hello to the folks here. What are they doing? It's Nuke. Thank you, Nuke, for keeping us going here with our like and smash. Hi, everyone. Good morning. Like this video. Subscribe to our channel, Sports Money, here on YouTube, fastest growing sports betting channel on YouTube. And we'll have big time coverage today of UFC Des Moines Fight Night with Sandhagen versus Figueiredo tonight. We'll have the coverage here on the Sports Money Network. The card gets underway at 7:15 Eastern, 4:15 Pacific. So join the guys at approximately 3:45. We know that's almost the time for the Kentucky Derby. Usually the race goes off, I believe, around 3:37 6:37 Eastern, 3:37 Pacific. Times have changed. I'm pretty sure that's about when it goes off. So be ready for that. And then we get right into coverage tonight of the UFC with that main event. And we get to see Bo Nickel today in that co-main event. Joe W., he's ready to go here on Derby Day. Robert McCormick is here. He's watching. Aston Villa here, 1-0. We are into extra time. Fulham playing with 10 men, but Villa leading here 1-0 with approximately 6.5 minutes left to go in the game. As Villa, they never lose at home, a wise man told me. And let's see who else is joining me here today. Is it Nuke talking about the Blues on the puck line there yesterday? Hey, Nukey. Oh, we had the winner here on the show as well yesterday with the over in Winnipeg and St. Louis and that blowout win for St. Louis there last night. And, well, it's got the Winnipeg faithful and players still defending their goalie after this win by St. Louis. And, well, we're going to have just a little bit more hockey out west despite the game tonight. We'll have one more to decide who's going to play. It will be Winnipeg and St. Louis, or will it be Dallas or Colorado? Two of those four teams will advance in the Western Conference semifinals, joining Vegas and Edmonton. Of course, we know Toronto and Florida, Washington and Carolina. We're almost set to go with our next round, and we will be after this weekend. All right. Cash Kane is here today, as well as Irish King. He had a big day there in MLB. And let's see here. That might be it from you guys right now. Just some great regulars in here. Dana Delp's ready for Derby Day. And Justin McKelvey's here as well this morning. So thanks a lot for being here, everybody. Get ready for tonight's action with our coverage of UFC Des Moines by checking out our previews, including VB MMA picks, brought to you by SXBet, the world's largest blockchain betting exchange. You can get your handicapping started, if you haven't already, by checking out our show. We previewed 3 fights, including that main event and including the Bo Nickel fight as well. So check it out. VB MMA picks here on the Sports Money Network. Check it out under the live tab, and also check out the guys with First Strike. They had their preview, their 3 best bets for the action tonight as well. Check out First Strike underneath the videos tab. More coverage from us here today at UFC Des Moines. Also, to get my picks for UFC Des Moines, you can check me out over at winnable.com. I've got my picks for the entire card here. Well, almost the entire card. Not every fight tickled my fancy here today, but I did make a pick on pretty much every fight, including the main event. And you can check those out at winnable.com/Ramon for the action here on Saturday. Use the promo code STEAM to save 20% off premium pick packages from me, my Sports Money premium picks here on the Sports Money Network. Check them out and get my picks for UFC Fight Night tonight and other action as well. Did have some picks overnight in action from Australia, but I did split my plays there. I had Melbourne over West Coast Eagles, of course. West Coast is looking pretty bad. And Geelong Cats with the win over Collingwood there. A little bit of an upset last night. All right, let's go talk about some of the action, too, if we can, from last night with our NBA game as well. What a game. We'll need a Game 7 there as well with Houston and Golden State. Yeah, we had the winner here on the show with the Houston Rockets. We said take those points in their matchup with Golden State. And, well, Houston did look pretty terrific, and so did Fred VanVleet. Fred was the star of the game for sure for Houston there, but it does feel like Shingun is also a very, very key player for them right now. But they got a great team effort there to beat Golden State. Pretty much had them the entire way. It felt like for Houston, Golden State had a few surges in there, but felt like Golden State was the best team and felt like Houston was the best team there. And now going back to game 7, all of a sudden, it's been a long road so far in this series for Houston, and it's not over yet, obviously, with one more game to go. But uh, in that game now, you do have Houston favored at home in game 7, minus $1.40 or so. So, yeah, all of a sudden, Golden State was playing from behind here a little bit in this series after getting the early lead in the Western Conference first round matchup. All right. Also, hey, we did have winner here on the show yesterday in the UFL, huh? With Arlington and St. Louis game to go under. Boy, I'll say it went under there yesterday as St. Louis won a big game there over Arlington to take over second place in the XFL division. All right, baseball last night definitely had some action there late last night if you missed it. I hope no one went to bed like I did and thought they had a winner with the games last night, late night action with Detroit. And I'm correcting my scoring right now with you guys had the winner with Detroit, and I thought I had a winner last night with the under. And if you went to bed early, maybe it was 1-1 after 8 innings. Maybe it wasn't your night, like it wasn't mine. As Detroit, not only did they get 8 runs in the 9th inning to cover, yes, the run line, get the win for the team's team consensus, and send me down to defeat, but Austin Riley became the first player in Major League history to hit 2 home runs in the 9th inning. Is that really? You mean no one ever has batted around and 2 guys have hit 2 home? Is that? I might have to run AI through that. We might have to fact check that, but nonetheless, that's what they said. And you'd think somewhere along the line, every inning has had a player hit 2 home runs, and it's hard, no doubt, no doubt, right? We're not all. Who was Vladdy's dad, right? We're not Vladdy's dad, but is that right? In the 9th inning? I mean, we know Vladdy's dad did the 2 grand slams in the first inning, but still, maybe, the other thing is, half the games are, doesn't even play half the 9th inning. So I guess that does eliminate the chances there a little bit, but not anymore. Put yourself in the record books there last night with that 2 home runs. We also swept the other late game there with I had San Francisco on the run line here yesterday over Colorado, and we had a premium pick on the under in that game of San Francisco blank Colorado, ending their 2-game winning streak 4-0. We had the Mets here on the show over St. Louis with Clay Holmes. Man, they don't lose with Clay Holmes pitching, do they? We had a winner here on the show with the Cubs and Milwaukee game to go over last night. It went over. The Cubs went over 10-0 over Milwaukee. Also, winner here on the show with Seattle. Felt like never headed 13-1. There it was 13-0. And Texas got a run, I think, in the bottom of the 9th inning. But we had Seattle here on the show. Also on the show, we had the White Sox on the run line. But White Sox get it done over Houston last night for a surprising win. Also, Dodgers and Atlanta. Dodgers and Atlanta. We did have the under here on the show, didn't we? Wow, 2-1. Yamamoto and Grant Holmes. Grant Holmes looking like a pitcher from the movies out there, the way his long locks go, and he pitched pretty well. But Dodgers got that win. Also, we had Boston here yesterday on the show. We had a lot of winners here. Boston with Brian Bello with the win there over Ryan. We also had a premium pick on the under in that one. And we also had a winner here on the show with Kansas City and Baltimore. Yesterday, we had the winner on the under in that one with Kansas City losing 3-0 to Baltimore yesterday. And we had a premium pick winner, Washington and Cincinnati game 2 go under, and it did just that after that rain delay. But Hunter Green led them to the win with the 6-1 victory. All right. Also, Game 7 of that Houston Golden State series will be on Sunday night, and I think we touched on just about every game in there. Athletics in Miami, Gunnar Hoagland, how about it? He won his Major League debut there in that one with the 6-1 victory. All right. And my Padres did get a win as well. I think that'll do it for the baseball previews. To give a few minutes to get some other folks in here. We got 50 now, so we can go ahead and I think get rolling with the show here a little bit as getting ready for the Kentucky Derby. So let me cover it here real quick as I say hello to a few more folks in here, and I see some more conversation. Nuke saying that sloppy track, anything can happen though. Today, he's saying that maybe it will affect him. Maybe you will get some bombs here. Like I said, the experts, if you will, kind of saying, as we do have a final here right now with Aston Villa there. All right. And let's see here. Got a few more in here. AOD, hello. And who else is here? It will be
Final.
All right, here we go. No, you know what? Where's Justin saying? You know who it was? Justin. I was Riley Green. Riley Green. That's Riley Green. That's who it was. With those 2 home runs, I slip of the mind there a little bit. Thank you, Justin, for setting me straight on that.
Final.
QPR over Sunderland there. Fernando with some plays here. He says Hoffenheim over 3.5. And let's see, Damon Waring here. Doubles is here as well. Thank you. Let's kind of get rolling here, shall we? So Kentucky Derby Day today. Now, look, I've been touting my big play on journalism all week for sure, and last few weeks I've said it here on several shows on here, and whenever they've talked about Kentucky Derby picks here on the, felt like the guys actually ignored me the whole time as I've been talking about journalism and my, just because I would mention it in passing every time, especially when Keith would come on and I'd say, don't forget I got, now look, it's not a huge ticket at price-wise, 10-1. I think that's a pretty good price for journalism. And my recommendation would be not to play journalism here today because it's the Kentucky Derby after all, and journalism is a 3-1 favorite. While he might be the best horse and gets a perfect draw, pretty much, really, if you think about it. Getting in there now at I believe in the 7 hole, right? Because we've had a scratch of the 4. So you kind of shove another, there's 19 horses now. So you move in there. And for journalism, look, maybe much the best, right? For sure. But it's a Kentucky Derby. You don't want a 3-1 choice on a Kentucky Derby. Now, you can have them in your exotics. Maybe you do want to put him on top if you like this horse. He does look much the best. And he's also got this lucky draw, if you will, where, look, it looks to me like if you talk about who the major contenders are, I'm not talking about just doing your own handicapping. If you want to do that, you will be able probably to find your next choice or a better choice. But if you're asking me to just glaze over the field and tell you about, how this race is run, you probably know. But journalism gets that 7 hole now, the number 8 horse, and the next two top contenders really for the race, and especially in the terms of odds, Sandman and Sovereignty are out there, numbers 17 and 18 in the 16 and 17 hole, where they never win. Those horses never win. You can almost draw a line right at 15 when it comes to placing high in the Kentucky Derby. When you get out there in that other, in those outer posts and the auxiliary gate as well, it just never happens for those horses. So look, there's still a lot of support for Sovereignty. I mean, look, we just saw Godolphin win yesterday, last night, with the
final
big race there in the Oaks. So look, those blue silks could come coming. I'm always excited when I see that, but really doesn't happen that way. So you guys can pick and choose maybe from the lot. Maybe you want to get in there right there with those two Kentucky breds with Luxor Cafe and Burnham Square. They're the ones that sandwich journalism, or maybe even a horse like East Avenue. There's Godolphin at the 12 hole with Manny Franco aboard. East Avenue would bring you a big bomb price in there for sure. And I would throw East Avenue in there, and I'd probably even go with the two outside of that with Publisher at 30-1 with the Rod Ortiz, and outside of that with Tistastic with Joel Rosario. So those are the ones that I would look. I almost want to throw out Sandman and Sovereignty. And look, we saw Cole Battle win a big prep race, right? Just recently, I thought Cole Battle was a defensive back for Alabama, but apparently he's number 16 at 25-1, and he's got a shot too. But again, in that 15 hole, now he didn't make it in to the 15 hole there, but it does feel like, again, you're going to have some runners out there. So look, I still think journalism is the horse to beat. I can't get inside with Citizen Bull, even though I want to go with my man Bob Bappert to put his foot down and say, you jerks, what were you thinking? I'm not doing anything anybody else wasn't doing in here, but that's not the way they saw it in Kentucky for 3 years, and Bob Bappert makes his return. But unfortunately, he's got a pretty decent horse, but he's drawn that one hole where, hey, anywhere else, any regular race, you'd be okay with a one hole, get a 12-horse field in the big race, and you might have a chance, but not in the Kentucky Derby. One hole doesn't really work out either. So other talk about with a Final Gambit possibly there from the 3-hole, number 3 there in there. But for me, of course, I'm on journalism. Then I would look to, if I'm going to just kind of put the horses in order there a little bit, I like this East Avenue, man. I think you got to put this East Avenue in these exotics a little bit. And I like Publisher. I like, hey, you need a journalism and Publisher. Will journalism be fake news today at Kentucky? Journalism and Publisher, that sounds like a media double right there. So also, like I said, Tistastic right there, and I'm kind of tossing out Sandman and Sovereignty. If you like them, you certainly have to include them in your exotics, but that's up to you. Enjoy the race. I'm going to try to join those guys over there with Razor Sharp today, with Razor, and try to, I'll get there. I got there yesterday for the Oaks. I'll probably get there for the big build-up for the big race today. So join me over there, and then get ready for late coverage here tonight with the UFC. All right. Enjoy your Derby day. And I've been around the racing game. If anybody, this will be my first time on the Sports Money Network going through the Triple Crown races, but we do touch on them all here throughout the time. Hey, our first team of the shows come in. We've had some other moves already today, but hey, this one's going to be in my Padres tonight against Pittsburgh. Some steam is coming in on the over right now in that one with Vasquez and Falter. I understand not a great pitching matchup for sure with those starters, but we do know the Padres have some of the best pitching in the league. Anyways, the total's going up right now in that one with San Diego and Pittsburgh. going to go up to 9.5 here for sure. That one early on was much lower, and it's kind of moved higher here, 9.5 under. I guess it wasn't much lower, but 9 under certainly. But now we're at 9.5 under, so a little half a run move. All right. Doge says he likes this mutter American Promise with a good post position in there. And Irish King says, what's going on today? I mean, come on. You don't think Irish King hasn't watched the Irish Derby? Or I'm sorry, the Irish Derby? Doge says Boppert's still the man. I'm a Bob Baffert guy. Teresa O'Brien here today. Good morning. All right, let's get ready to start the show. Hope we've covered everything going on. Of course, like I said, there is soccer action underway right now. Let me touch a few others. I'll have some Major League Soccer coverage today on my winnable account for sure. Today with a huge MLS card, but got to look at these domestic leagues, the big leagues, of course, with action here in the EPL set to go here just moments away, top of the hour with Southampton and Leicester. Ipswich and Everton has my attention today. Bournemouth and Arsenal. We're also underway in Serie A. We already got 2 goals, Udinese and Cagliari. Thought we had the scores back here a minute ago. Also, action in La Liga well underway, and they're approaching the end of the game with Atletico and Alaves. No score in that one, and also just underway in Germany with Bayern Munich and Leipzig. Werder leading Union Berlin 1-0, and Mönchengladbach on top of Hoffenheim 1-0. No report yet. Stuttgart and St. Pauli. Maybe there's a delay there, and I'll fire up the action here in the EPL. Getting ready to go. Tennis today, big match. Wow, as we got a blockbuster in women's tennis today. Huge, incredible matchup here, really, with Aryna Sabalenka going up against Coco Gauff at 12:30 Eastern, 9:30 Pacific in that one. Sabalenka, the favorite here. Gauff leads the all-time series 5-4. The only meeting on clay was won by Coco Gauff in Rome in, I believe, 2020. I want to say it was 2023. May have been earlier than that. But right now, Sabalenka is certainly on top of the world at number 1, and Coco Gauff has been terrific too, losing just 1 set here so far. So should be a real awesome one here today with Sabalenka and Gauff. All right, Nuke likes the Revs. He likes the Revs today. You know what? I'm going to give out a. Let's see. Let me write that down. Nuki likes the Revs here against his Toronto FC. He must be going. He's going against Toronto. I'll make a play right now. I think I have one here. Let me. I've got Houston and LAFC. I got LAFC team total under 1.5. That's all I've come up with so far. Not my usual picks. I usually don't have very many team totals, and I rarely go public with them. But maybe we'll start to expand the menu. I don't know. But right now I've got Houston and LAFC. I've got LAFC team total under 1.5 here, and Nasty Nate likes New England to roll over Toronto today as a big dog. All right, now I think we get started here with some great sports action today. Golf underway too. They're going to try to make it up here overnight here with the rain there. They'll have some extra golf to play today to catch up on the tournament. Also, to me, you look at this field, and if Scotty's going to get away in the golf tournament, right? I don't know. I've already watched the first 2 rounds of the Live tournament this week. I know not many people are very interested, but man, Scotty's ahead here now by 6 strokes after finishing now at 18 under par here at the Byron Nelson CJ Cup. All right. here we go with the action. Yeah. So should mention over in the Live Tour today, it is Bryson DeChambeau, uh, making pretty much putting the tournament in uh, uh, shambles today. Right now, he with DeChambeau kind of pulling away here through 2 rounds. Of course, it's a 3 round tournament, the Live Tour, but he leads by 4 strokes over Richard Bland. All right. Here we go. Let's go with the NBA action. Get ready for your picks here. Clippers and Nuggets here today with Denver favored by 1. Call it 1.5 right now, maybe even 2 here at some spots, and the total continues to rise here on some steam, really, that just came in within the last half hour or so before we were going on the show that got hit again. We're all the way up to 207 here right now in this one with the Clippers and the Nuggets here tonight. In fact, we're starting to see some juice on that 207 to the over here at this point. So definitely a move here this morning and on this total. It does almost feel like, especially after we saw last night, uh, the unders, that was for the play-in tournament. Maybe that was for the first couple of games of the first round. Since then, it's been 12 overs and 4 unders in the last 16 NBA playoff games right now in the postseason. Not any specific team or uh, site or anything like that. It's just been the last 16 games in general, and it's been 12-4 in favor of the over here of late. But do have the Clippers here. They did force that 7th game here. Now, look, you got to go in. It's funny. You think of the Clippers and uh, yes, the Clippers, play in Denver. They just played twice in Denver, but maybe that was a little easier to play twice in Denver back to back than it would be to go back home. And now I have to go play back there again. The Clippers did get that win in that uh, game against Denver, 131-115. Or I'm sorry, Denver did to get that win to go back to LA, and the Clippers got the 111-105 victory 2 nights ago to force this deciding game. And let's see how we're going to play this one today with Denver. I'm going to update that total for sure. And I'll still call it 1.5. But certainly considerable move here right now in this one. And you guys can get ready and make the pick if you want. And tonight, Clippers and Denver. Chat already fired up and ready to go. It's going to be good morning to Philly Eagle Flyer, by the way. Cash Kane is going to get it started here in this one with the Clippers on the money line. Justin's got some prop action here in this one with Joker over 30 points today. So, what I was saying, the Clippers, hey, anybody knows it's tough to go into Denver, but man, you leave Denver, you go to Denver had to do it too, but they're the ones that play at home in this city. And Daddy Beats likes over here in this one as well. 9 Legacy says Rockets got it done yesterday. Rockets will win Game 7 here, or not here, but you know what I mean. The next one, Nuggets for Nuke. And 9 Legacy likes the Clippers here. Kawhi to have a big game today. Doge says Clippers and over. Denver does not, they don't really lose in round 1 games over these last few years when they've been so good. They've won 9 of 10 games at home in the first round. It could be argued that, hey, this Clippers team, this is as good as they've been, right? But man, Jamal Murray has really stepped it up. This is the first we've seen Murray, it feels like, right? Almost I want to say, hey, is Jamal Murray kind of just on the downswing, or what is it with Murray? And he hasn't, I'm saying, had a good season or anything like that. He was fine. but he just wasn't maybe the big star that he was back when Denver, you know, winning the title, right? And he was that great complement, great two-man, great twosome with Joker and Murray. But now, you do have a little bit of Westbrook in there, and Westbrook going up against one of his other former teams, and he's been pretty strong too. Damon likes the under here. He likes Nuggets and under, actually. Robert likes the Nuggets as well. James Parm likes the Clippers. And Doge says no. He says he likes the Golden State Warriors in that one. That game says Steph ain't gonna lose, but I don't know. This does feel like the one team that kind of has been able to wrestle him up at least in 3 of the games for sure. It feels like, right? All right. Hey, I guess it's time to make my call here in this one between the Clippers and the Nuggets tonight. Like I said, feels like now that we've gotten, you'd think the games would be tighter, right? This is game 7 after all. And maybe if you look at some of the numbers, you could try to make a great case for the under in game number 7. But I don't think I'm going to. I'm going with the over in this one. I'm paying a tax here a little bit. So, we're going to have to kind of go with the extra point or two here on the over. So that'll be the free play on the show. Denver definitely was an over team at home during the regular season. And also, oops, there we go. And also in the role, they're a little bit of a favorite. However, 12 of the last 18 meetings between these two teams have gone under. Both teams have, uh, 4 of the 6 games have gone under in this series as well. Only these last 2 have gone over, right? The first 4 went under, and then the next 2 went over. And this total is the lowest total of the series, maybe appropriately, with game number 7, but I'm going to take the over. 9 Legacy likes the call there. And Sancho says Nuggets money line plus Joker gives you a little nice return there. All right. So that's going to do it here. Look, Denver covering the spread at home. It hasn't been pretty. No doubt about it. They've been not good over the last 2 months. Really, they're 3-14 against the spread at home in their last 17 games at home. But still, Denver's won 13 of the last 20 meetings between these two teams. Clippers are 13-6-1 ATS in their last 20 games overall. But I'll go ahead and take the over here in this one as my play on the show. All right. SF Niner likes Clippers team total over. All right. That's going to do it, I think, for the basketball game. And that game goes off. We'll be on the air, obviously, with the UFC coverage at that time. With that game goes out 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific. Anybody catch the WNBA preseason last night? Let's go to hockey. All right. Okay, game number 7 here now between Colorado and Dallas. We're in prime time here at 8 Eastern and 5 Pacific with the Avalanche. Look, think of the story here for Blackwood, right? You got all the tools. You're a budding goalie prospect, if not one of the better goalies in the league, but languishing a little bit in San Jose, and well, you get traded it right into the Stanley Cup chase for the Avalanche when he was dealt there mid-season or so, right? With the goalie swap with San Jose, and Blackwood finds himself here in a big matchup against the Stars and the veteran Ottinger. Been there, done that. So, I'm not pointing to the inexperience here of Blackwood. It feels like he's, like I said, one of the better goalies in the league. I mean, he's on Colorado. They're had a fine, strong season here, and they could not get the home ice advantage over the Stars. You would think at the beginning of the season, yes, expectations were high from the Stars. Maybe they were expected a little. I'm trying to remember actually back with the odds between these two, but we know that the Avalanche was always going to be a contender here as well. But hey, Dallas did own. Get the home ice advantage for this big game number 7. But like I said, the big news of this game has to be the two key injuries to two top players for Dallas. It's hockey, I get that. They definitely have some other top-notch talent on this Dallas team, but when you're missing key stars like Jason Robertson, certainly uh, I'd say number one player on the team, and Heiskanen here, who's so important to this team. Yes, you have, uh, you know, Rupe Heinz. You've got Mikko Rantanen. Okay, you've got Tyler Seguin. You've got Matt Duchene. You've got Marchment. You've got Jamie Benn. There's a lot of talent. Wyatt Johnson. You can go on and on with the talent on this Dallas team, but you're also going up against elite talent of the Colorado Avalanche for sure, with players that I've kind of hung my hat on a little bit in this uh, postseason with Nathan McKinnon. We've seen Lehkonen. We know the story with Landeskog, and then maybe with the energy that he's brought to this team. I did watch that special on him. That was really neat. Uh, Natchez, he had the goal in that last game, okay, and Nick Huskin, remember, we made a play on him as well, and Nelson. So these guys have had a good run here with Colorado, and they won that last game, of course, to force a game 7. Blew them out actually at home, 7-4. So last 2 games, we've seen monster scores. 6-2 Dallas won game number 5, and game number 6 was won by Colorado 7-4. After those first games were kind of going under here a little bit, but we can go to the chat and see what you guys have in this one. But it does feel like you see that price right there with Colorado favored here at $1.40 on the road. That if those 2 stars would have been in there, what would the price have been? Would it have been only a pick 'em, or would Dallas have been favored? I don't even know. But it does feel like Colorado is partially or maybe mostly favored because of the injury status of these 2 very good players on the Dallas Stars. All right, let's see how you have it, though, here on Saturday night with Colorado and Dallas. I'm going to go to the chat here right now and get the plays from you guys. All right, let me just bring it up here. Here we go. And oh man, Doge got his Action Jackson didn't know that there was a WNBA preseason. And one thing they're doing in the WNBA preseason actually is some of the game's biggest stars are getting a little tour back to their colleges, is what they're doing. They're kind of like, for example, you have it's players returning to where they played their college ball, is what they're doing, and then they go play a game in those respective cities. So Caitlin Clark, she's back and plays a game in Iowa. Let's see here. So, he's about to DoorDash a sausage, and Doge is going to get DoorDash. Oh, man. Cash Kane on the over here in this one tonight. Action Jackson likes the Avs to close it out. 9 Legacy Avalanche on the money line. Doge says Abs and McKinnon ATG here, and this one will get you to 277. Robert likes the Avalanche. Philly Eagle Flyer likes the over here. Nuke says, look, Dallas earned this spot. they still are an extremely deep team, right? It does feel like. All right. Blue Lotto D Dotto Die is here. Billy the Flyer, go. Abs, go. That might be it from you guys here in this one. I've got to take the Colorado Avalanche here. I think it is. I think that is big, big there. It's reflected in the price. So I will say this. I just want to pick the winner. So I'm going to take Colorado. But I think the injuries are obviously built into the price, and I don't think a lot of people are giving way to still coming back on Dallas. But I would say that the price is reflective of the injuries, and it's no secret. So I think it's a fair price to take Dallas if that's the preference, like Nuke was doing. All right, and Gary says he likes these abs a little bit. And look, I'm kind of riding these abs. I've got Vegas, right? I think it's all, even though I talked about all those futures, oh, I've got this future, I've got that future. Well, you know what? They're almost all gone now. I've got Washington in a future, I've got Edmonton in a future, and I've got St. Louis, and that's it. I've already lost them all with those other long shots a little bit. But my pick currently stays the same, Vegas and Washington, but we'll see what happens here in the West. Okay, O caps is all caps, of course. Hello to O caps. All right, and I think that's it from you guys in the chat. I'm taking the Colorado Avalanche to get it done here in this one with game number 7 tonight against the Dallas Stars. You look at here, really, Dallas still have lost 10 of their last 13 games. Remember, they had a losing streak coming into the end of the regular season and played well here again. They might have been complacent. They held on, and it felt like they were going to hang on to their position every time, and maybe that's what happened there at the end of the season. But 9 of the last 10 meetings between these two teams in Dallas have gone over. 9 of 10 in Dallas. Also 6 of the last 9 overall. Dallas has gone over in 5 of their last 7 at home, obviously. And Colorado over in 5 of their last 7 on the road. And we're dealing here with a 5.5, of course, in game number 7. Slightly juiced to the over, but a lot of 5.5 flats as well. Nuke says game 7, it's just two good teams going at it. Who plays better tonight? And for Nuke, that says the dog has an advantage. If you're talking about it, probably a near toss up. Again, I'll give the advantage because of those key injuries to the Avalanche. Gary says he always likes going under in game 7. I do too. I don't know if I'm going to do it in this game. And again, there may be a little something to what we're seeing with the overs right now and the empty net situations and the fourth quarter, the third period scoring. It does feel like, yes, maybe we've seen the same thing in years past. I didn't really look too deep, and I haven't heard too many people talking about it, but it does feel like the I don't never would call them shenanigans. This is how the game of hockey is played with the empty net and when you're behind. But it feels like we're getting 1 or 2 extra goals, or what I mean there at the end of the game. We're seeing more teams. In the regular season, you put your goalie back on the ice. Also, when you're down 3 in the playoffs, you really don't do it. You do it when you're down 4. Irish King, Denver, if it gets to that point. Obviously, tonight, this could be pretty close, it feels like. Irish King took Denver in the basketball game. Here's Philly Flyer, first period, full game draw. And Stop Geo there yesterday, our winner of the did we get them all? I don't know if we oh no, it wasn't yesterday, right? It was you guys, a bad job here by me, or without Thomas, we're doomed. We can't get the consensus picks. I keep forgetting. And then we didn't even run the contest yesterday. I just left the show. So, all right, Irish King, thank you. Here is Blue likes the under in the basketball game. Stop Geo talking basketball says. Line steady moving against the Clippers. Majority of money on Denver. He says the Clippers are the side. All right. That's it for hockey and our playoff games today. Let's go to the major leagues. We've got to get going here right now and start covering the action here today. Let's go with it. All right. Starting off here today, the Rays taking on the Yankees at Yankee Stadium. Here today, you got the Yankees, a big favorite. In fact, they're up to nearly $2 right now. Total 9.5 under at minus 115 or higher in this one. So I probably could update that to at least $1.75. I'm showing some books are already up past $2 here a little bit with uh, with Littell going up here against Schmidt in this one. And what gives? Yeah, the Yankees are certainly worthy of some level of favoritism here, but man, this thing feels like it's moved about 20 cents or so here. Off of the openers as low as 168 at some of the sharp books here. But for Zach Littell, he comes in with a 1-5 record and a 5.03 ERA for the Rays so far this season. The Rays have lost 4 straight. For Casey Schmidt here, or for Schmidt here, Casey, I keep wanting to say Casey Schmidt. In fact, let me see here. I think they were talking that actually, could the Yankees actually have an opener in this game? I don't think right now that is the case. All right. But whatever the case may be, let's get into it here with Clark Schmidt. But I thought maybe the Yankees were even considering an opener in this game. Oh, well, let me go with it here, anyways, just on the premise that this is the man. This is certainly the matchup we're all expecting. I don't know why I'm thinking that. Yankees rarely do that. But nonetheless, let me cover some of the numbers with these guys anyway. With Littell here, like I said, 1-5 record coming in, a 257 BABIP isn't awful, 1.23 the whip, because Clark Schmidt, a 5.52 ERA actually. He's 0-1 so far with a 1.43 ERA whip so far this season, and a 237 BABIP, but a 14 batting average against isn't awful here. So look, I think Schmidt is certainly getting the attention as the favorite. Does feel too high, when you're talking about a Tampa Bay team that often, hey, they're often in the mix in the AL East. This year so far, they're not. We know they've had better starts to their season, and we'll see if they can get to 500 here. But does feel, the Orioles aren't any good, right? And the Blue Jays have had their struggles. So maybe once they get rolling a little bit, Tampa can come back a little bit here. But right now, a 4-game losing streak after they got swept by Kansas City and lost the opener here to the Yankees. Yankees have won 5 of the last 6 meetings between the two teams overall. Yankees have gone under in 6 of their last 7 games here at home. We know Tampa Bay has been a pretty strong under team this season. In fact, they are 3-7 to the under on the road. They played, I believe, the fewest number of road games so far this season. Yankees here have won 4 of their last 6 games. Rays have still won 5 of their last 6 on the road. They hit a winning streak when they went out west before they lost the game to the Yankees yesterday. So let's go to the chat right now and see what you have here. Rays are already down 7 3/4 units so far this season. Meanwhile, the Yankees, they're up 2.5 units with their 19-13 record. Go to the chat here. Major League Baseball on a Saturday. All right, OCAP says, who do you like for the Derby? Well, OCAP's, I think journalism is the best horse. We've got rainy conditions out there. We've got a 19-horse field. I can't recommend journalism at the expected price there, but I did do a breakdown at the beginning of the show talking about some other horses to consider there. I think journalism is the best. And considering the way we saw the Oaks unfold there yesterday, it could work out just perfectly here. As looks like Leipzig has scored a second goal here against Bayern here. All right. Blue likes the Yankees on the run line. Germain says give him the under. Cash Kane likes the Rays in this one. Doge likes Yankees on the run lines. Fernando likes the Yankees. 9 Legacy Yankees run line. Jermaine says bad starters here. Justin has a great prop as always. He's got multiple props here. Daddy Beats with us today says Yankees and the money line. And Blue likes the under with these two today. Hello and good morning to Wine Time. And here's Robert McCormick liking the under in this one. Cash Kane says Yankees with their current injuries a little bit, but look, no doubt, still moving higher here. All right, Spoons, good morning and hello. Cash Kane says, I was a Yankee fan. We know the Rays give them the business there a little bit. Textiles here today, and James Parm liking the Yankees in this one on the money line. Yeah, $2 pretty rough to go with, but for me in this one, I think I'm ready to make the call here, and I'm going to actually go with the over in this one today with Tampa Bay and the Yankees as my play. Give me the over. I've got an over in this one. All right, and Spoon says, yeah, okay. So if Schmidt, maybe this is what I was talking about there, Spoons, right? So let me see. I think, did they call in a replacement yet? Let's see here. I think I did see something. They have Yarborough. It could be Yarborough. It feels like if they have, for this scratch here. Let me see what we can come up with, unless you guys got something here real quick. I won't spend too much time on it with you guys, but yeah, it will be Yarborough here. We're seeing it just now. In fact, the Yankees have already sent out their lineup on their social media just 6 minutes ago, listing Yarborough as the starter. The former Ray should be mentioned there, right? The former Ray. We saw plenty of bid times he's been in there. So Schmidt scratched and Yarborough gets to start with on the Ryan Yarborough, the left-hander there. Like I said, definitely, but I would consider him a former Ray for sure, right there. So, all right, that does make things interesting. I'll just stick with the over there. I have to adjust on the fly, and we're not going to make too much about it. I think also that could be a reflection of that line move as well. I don't know if it's a downgrade from Clark Schmidt to Ryan Yarborough, right, guys? But still, you're probably dealing with a pitcher in Yarborough that, he might be only a 4-inning pitcher here today. We'll see. Remember, he used to be kind of exclusively an opener back in the day, just from the last couple of years with the Rays. Damon likes the over here in this one. Peter Gracia is here today. He likes the Yankees and the over. Damon with a little prop there. Goldie here, and Irish King says the odds will change. I think the odds are going to possibly change there. I think it was half kidding, saying that the price went up because of Yarborough. It's been taken off the board here a little bit, and that's why we're here on the Morning Steam Show. All right. We'll get back to it. I'm sure they'll bring us some more information. We'll see the line coming out. I see it's been cleared pretty much everywhere now. And we just saw some steam actually in this game. Let me mention it right now. While I was talking about the Yankee game, you might have heard in the background some steam came in on this one, and it's on the White Sox. The White Sox are taking steam here in this one today. And still, Houston's going to be about 255 or so, but they were as high as 275 or 280, I believe, after opening around 250, went up and then got a little buyback here, it feels like. Also, the steam also came in on this one, I believe, on the total here as well on the under. In fact, this one's pretty much 7.5 everywhere right now with Brown and Martin. Look, yesterday's game we had uh, the under in that one, and that didn't work out. It ended up going over in that game with Valdez and Cannon, but still, it does feel like with these two and this White Sox team and Houston, maybe things are picking up, but Houston's actually lost 2 in a row. The White Sox have won a couple of games in a row coming in to this one. So let's see how you want to play it here with Houston and Chicago. Uh, the White Sox here, but like I said, won a couple in a row. They still have lost 13 of their last 18 games overall. White Sox just 2-6 in their last 8 games at home. Coming into this one, 6 of the last 7 meetings between these two teams in Chicago have gone under, but the White Sox have gone over in 5 of the last of their last 7 games. 8 of the last 10 games between these teams in overall have gone under. Houston's gone over in 5 straight. Houston's lost 4 of their last 5 games on the road, but they've won 4 out of the last 6 meetings between these two teams overall. For the Astros here with Hunter Brown, 4-1, 1.22 ERA. He's been awesome. 189 batting average against. For Martin here, he's 1-3, 3.24 ERA, 1.3 WHIP, 264 batting average against, and 284 BABIP. Not horrible numbers by any stretch, but the White Sox averaging just 3.6 runs per game. Still, Astros averaging 3.9 runs per game. Let me update that total on the screen. It pretty much 7.5. It feels like everywhere right now, and this number has mostly. I have 250 there. That still might be a little low, but like I said, there was a little bit of a move here to the White Sox, believe it or not. Not, no, there really was, but still, I don't know if the price is totally. Uh, if any, I don't even know if it's even a huge discount here for Houston. I don't know. I can't. I don't know if I can see the White Sox necessarily competing in this one, but let's see how you have it here in the chat. Look, they've won 2 straight. I mean, let's give them their flowers a little bit for this couple of games here. Tremaine says Yarbrough, just an opener. Yeah, he can work there were times where, and if they need it, right, he, like I said, I think he may try to go through this lineup twice. Stroh's here for 49er. Irish King likes Houston the first 7 on the run line. James Parham on Houston. Cash Kane, Astros first 5. 9, Legacy, Astros on the run line. Blues, Astros money line here. And Nuke can't get it. You know what? I mean, I keep making fun of it, right? I said, don't let me bet on the White Sox. Well, you know what? We were on them yesterday here on the show. Again, Hunter Brown over in his K-prop for Jermaine. And I think that might be it for you guys on the chat in this one. But, I do like Houston here in this game, and I'm going to take. I just said it. I like Houston. Okay, give me Houston on the run line here in this one over the White Sox. Look, I was on the White Sox yesterday. I'm going to take Houston today in this one. And that total's just gone down and down, and I'm sure it'll be a low scoring game. But Hunter Brown on a roll. We've been on Brown for sure. All right, next up, the Mets will take on the Cards here in this one with Tyler McGill. 145, 8.5 under at minus 115, going up against Eric Fetty here in this one. You got McGill, good numbers. I don't know why is everybody always getting, hey, oh, McGill's terrible. Well, I don't mean to say it like that, but it just, there's some, you know, people aren't necessarily believing in McGill here at this point, but he's got a 1.74 ERA and a 198 batting average against so far for Fetty. 1-3. Cards are 1-5 with Fetty on the mound. And the Mets just keep rolling here. They snapped that 2-game losing streak by winning last night in big time fashion, 9-3. And well, we did have the New York Mets yesterday here on the show with Clay Holmes. They don't lose with Clay Holmes, it feels like here at this point. But nonetheless, we have Fetty here, 4.68 ERA right now coming in. 252 BABIP is okay. Maybe he's been a little bit of tough luck, but the Mets have won 7 of the last 8 games on the road between these two teams, and you see them favored here considerably, up to $1.50 or more here now at some of the other books. We are seeing that line in the Tampa Bay game. I did say go over, and the reissuing of the line still probably going to be $2 here. Not going to see much of a change in the line, but the total looks like it's going up, though, maybe by half or maybe by quarter of a run or so, 9.5 over. I'm on the over there, Tampa Bay and the Yankees. And in this one with the Mets taking on the Cards here, Cards have won 10 of their 16 home games so far this season, but the Mets are 18-7 as a favorite. Mets are just 8-7 on the or 9-8 on the road so far this season, so they've been dominant at home, 13-3, but just barely over 500 on the road. Might be something to consider. St. Louis has dropped 10 of their last 15 games overall, and the Mets not only 7-1 here in St. Louis, but they've won 9 straight against the Cards right now. They got their number for sure. And also, Mets here gone over in 4 of their last 6 overall, but they are 7-10 to the under on the road. Let's go to the chat. See what you have in this one. Mets and Cards. And let's just face it, the Mets have owned the Cards here over the last 3 series right now. But is that enough? Today with McGill. I don't mean to think. I think people see the McGill numbers there, and you got to respect him. He's done a great job, actually. I don't know why they just kind of went down on them. Oh, is that what that was? Okay, Blue. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, I saw you said Houston. Said, yeah, I should have read into that. There were 3 letters. I'm like, I think that's Houston. And Wine Time says, that's my guy from Marina High. 9 Legacy likes the Cardinals here in this one. Cash Gains on the Cards. Irish King says, what about the rain, Ramon? Hey, look, we saw the rains yesterday, but everything pretty much got off there. If that's what Irish King means, here's Mets on the money line. Wine Time on the Mets. Nuke, Mets. Robert McCormick, Mets. Everybody, Mets. Lots of Mets. And I will take the under in this game as my play. Look, it felt like I should do I've got to call out these consensus plays, you guys. The Mets are obviously a consensus play here today. Felt like the Yankees were as well, but I don't know. I don't know if we saw. Did we see enough run line in there? I'll just leave it at that. And I'm going to go with Mets as the first consensus play. If you guys thought that was, please help me out, you guys. We're missing Thomas here. Hey, you know what? He might have found himself a mistress. and left me. All right. We got Robert McCormick on a little prop here. We've got Bill Eagle Flyer on the Mets. And let's see here. Soto to get some prop action. And Blue. I think Blue's saying Yankees and Mets. Do you think Yankees was a run line play though at that -2? And then we had the. I'm a little skeptical, Blue. Because we did have the pitching change in there. Now I know everybody's kind of making fun of Clark Schmidt a little bit, and deep down, you probably got to feel like Yarborough is actually the better pitcher of the two. Do you guys think so? I mean, come on, Yarborough was always solid with the Rays, and Philly Eagle Flyer says Mets and Astros there with the Astros on a run line there possibly. Thanks you guys for that. And Irish King on the Mets. Jermaine says Houston struggles as road favorites. They lost to the Sox there last night. And Blue says going to be a lot of runs today. But I'm going under here in this one with the Mets and the Cards. All right. I think that's it from you guys on that one. Let's move on to the Guardians and the Blue Jays here in this one after the Blue Jays got that win there yesterday with Bassett, right? There, Toronto comes in. They're now at 500 with Kevin Gausman coming in. Gausman with a 4.5 ERA. Coming into this matchup, he is 2-3 with a 1.02 WHIP, 203 batting average against a 225 BABIP. I think we're getting the right Gausman here. Yes, it looks frustrating 2-3 with 4.5 ERA on the surface, but more so this Rays offense averaging just 3.5 runs per game. But the Guardians haven't been that great either with 3.8 runs per game. For Gavin Williams here, 5.14 ERA and a 329 BABIP. Not as good. It feels like you're going up against Gausman here. Come on. Toronto's still 11-6 at home right now. They're 8-3 as a favorite. So don't get on these Toronto Nuke and the guys, the Toronto fans here, kind of looks frustrating here. I don't know if I'm giving up just yet, at least on a matchup like this against a Cleveland team that's obviously better at home right now, it feels like, than they are on the road, despite the fact that Cleveland is up 4.5 units so far this season. Remember, Cleveland's actually lost 4 of the last 6 times here against Toronto right now. Cleveland's gone under in 4 of their last 5. Toronto's gone under in 7 of their last 10, and 12 of the last 18 meetings between these two teams have gone under. Toronto has lost 8 of their last 12 coming into this one, but have won 3 straight right now. All of a sudden, and ended Cleveland's 3-game winning streak with the win last night, 8-3. All right. They look good in that Boston series, obviously. And you know what I'm on. I'm on Toronto here at $1.40. It's gone up a little bit, it feels like, from that $1.30 price, but I like it still. I'm going to take Toronto. Let's go to the chat in this one. See what you have with Blue Jays first 5 for Justin. And Wine Time says, in Ramon's morning steam show, that's where the expert cappers hang out. I think that's what I was going to say. Something like that. This is the handicapper show. Toronto money line. Toronto 7-2 is home favorites there. Yeah, something like that. Oh wow! Just into the off the high speed sports wire here. The steam that just came in. It's on the Avs, baby. The Avs are going north of 140 here right now, taking that steam. Could be, I don't know. Look, talked about the injured. The news kind of came out there yesterday about Heiskanen, yesterday early evening, right? But some of the reports, they're just kind of starting to get around to making those little reports out there. So, whatever the case may be, there's definitely a move going on in Colorado right now. They're north of $1.40 up to $1.45 at a lot of spots. They're $1.50 at some of the sharp books right now. The screen is lit up red right now with the Colorado Avalanche. Big time steam here right now. Sharps must be moving in here, taking this one to $1.50 right now. All right, Justin's on Vladdy here. Irish King liked Toronto here, first five. And here's the Guardians, though, for Cash Kane. Justin. He wants to go to Spain, and he's got to play for us. And he says, take Barcelona. No, take Real Madrid. He's saying hi to Real Madrid, I think, because I don't think Real Madrid's playing today. Justin. Okay. I'm saying I don't think Justin follow. Okay, here's a blue on the Blue Jays, first five here. And Nuke is on his Jays. Gary's got his Derby plays in there. I see some journalism for sure right there. I'll leave that up there for a second. It's always funny, right? Because usually you think of the Derby, you go with the name. And it's shorter to put the numbers in there, but Toronto for Doge. And Wine Time's going to do the Blue Jays too. So is Nine Legacy and the O Caps, right? This is where the handicappers hang out. All right. And Nuke says, you know what? If this thing gets too crazy here, it might be time to go the other way, because there's no doubt we're seeing this thing now. Some of these offshore books at $1.55 or higher now. This is officially a move, right? This is why you're on the morning steam. This is why the thing said steam move over here. Yeah, it would have come up on the screen. Everybody would saw it, but we tell you right away, this isn't some toy over here that I've got. There's no doubt this thing just went up 15 cents or more within the last 5 minutes. And we told you about it right here on the Morning Steam show. All right. That might be it for that one. And I'm going to take the Blue Jays today. I've been on these Blue Jays a little bit. I know. Look, I've got Nuke. I've got some other Blue Jays fans that I'm always on these shows with. And they're not happy with them, but I'm okay with them here with Gausman. Next up, we're still in the day card here. Well, the Rockies taking on the Giants, and Giants won it 4-0 yesterday. Cooled down those Rockies there and won 2 straight, but this is kind of a bugaboo situation for the Rockies when they take on the Giants. This is a bit of a tough matchup, let's just say, for them. And they're obviously a huge favorite here at 275, 290 listed on the screen, but that might actually be a little bit too high. 285s are out there. There's even some 310s. So this is whatever. They're going to be about $3. It feels like with Blaylock here. Both pitchers with kind of gaudy numbers right now. Let's take a look at these hurlers here with Blaylock. 10.29 ERA. He's 0-1. He's got a whip of 2 and a 385 BABIP. For Jordan Hicks here, 1-3. The Giants are 5-1 to the over with Hicks on the mound. He's got a 6.12 ERA. Giants are still 3-3 with Hicks on the mound. He's got a 1.5 whip and a 343 BABIP. He's been roughed up pretty much as well. Giants ended their 3-game losing streak with that 4-0 win last night in pretty dominating fashion over Colorado with Robbie Ray mowing them down. And Senzatella wasn't awful, but Giants got the win. Let's go to the chat, maybe here in this one, see what you have with this a day game and one-sided for sure. Got to give Colorado a little bit of credit for what they did over the last couple of days coming into this one, but Colorado really right now that they're stringing together losses at sometimes here a little bit. San Francisco not really great on the run line so far this season. Just 8-12 as a run line favorite. But Colorado, because of all those losses, are actually 10-19 as a run line dog so far. And both these teams, huge under teams. The widely reported steam did come in on the over in this game. In fact, I probably should update it. It's mostly 8.5 under 15 everywhere you look. Maybe because these starters have been pretty bad. Maybe the numbers there have caught their attention, but still, Colorado 4-13 on the road. They didn't score yesterday. The final score last night was 4-0. This is a day game today. San Francisco 5-10 to the under at home so far this season. It's funny because they are actually so far on the road. I think it is all overs. It feels like pretty much. I think they are. What are they? 13-4 to the over on the road is San Francisco, but at home, where they're often a favorite, 7-13 as a favorite to the under, and Colorado 7-21 to the favorite as a dog. They've been actually a dog in every game, but they've actually been favored in 3 games this season. All right. See what you have, though, in this one. Can you trust that steam? Is it going over for a reason? Here, Colorado's gone under in 7 straight right now. I don't know what's going on, but someone steamed it up to 8.5. Okay, here we go. And Irish King says, I've got the run line. 9 Legacy on the run line. Nuke says, I'm not laying $3 with no baseball team. Cash Kane, Rockies, first 5, money line. Blue likes the Giants on the run line. And I think Blue has all those quips in the chat, and sometimes I got to move, I'm running through the plays, and I don't want to. I know Blue doesn't think I'm ignoring him. He's interacting with the chat, but I think one thing he says there about laying $3, right? And then look, I gotta respect what Nuke is saying too but there's no doubt that sharps will lay big prices. That's just a fact. More sharp, sharp will lay $3, $4, $5 long before any. And I'm not calling Nuke or anybody else square, or I'm just calling public. I'll say public. Sharps will lay $5, and the public won't. But in the sharps are one that are keeping it at $5, right, with all their big bombs. But kind of like the old bridge jumper betting the money to show, right? A little bit. All right. I always say pick up the small pots. That's what you got to do in poker. Giants run line for Nuke here, but he doesn't like that. And we know that's always built into the price a little bit. Giants on the run line, though, for Justin. He knows. And Nuke says he's just not going to play this one. Jermaine, San Francisco, team total over. And Nuke says you can't trust Hicks. Robert is on the Rockies, though. He says, take that, run line. Nuke, you're got to be kidding me. Nuke is about as sharp as they come. But he says, I'm a winner. That's right. Okay. That looks like it from you guys, though, in this one. Oh, man, I got to make the call. I got to make my call here in this one. Look, that widely reported, I might have to switch it up here because that widely reported steam comes in on the over here. It's almost making me want to maybe reconsider or flip flop the plays a little bit um, right now. All right, let me make sure I get it right here though, because uh, look, I can't trust what is it, a daytime? All of a sudden, the ball is going to be flying out here in San Francisco today. Let me at least peek at the weather, I guess. It could get windy there. All right, I'm just going to look at it. Yeah, the wind is blowing straight out to dead center, 17 to 21 miles an hour, temperature in the mid 50s here. And look, it's back and forth, it feels like, between uh, the total here moving higher here at this point, certainly by at least almost a half a run. Oh, a few more comments here. Let's see. I can buy some time here a little bit because I'm considering uh, switching the maybe not necessarily what the play was, but maybe switching what my play on the show is and what my best play is on this one. All right, let's see here. Uh-oh. Ah, okay. Wine Time says Giants Yankees money line parlay. In this one, I'm still I still got to go with the under. I'm on the under. I'm getting, hey, if anything, I'm getting that little bit of bonus that I always talk about. There, the line went up. I'll take the under. I know these pitchers are bad, you guys. Bad, bad, bad starters here. We just said their numbers are bad. Although I will say that no, I can't make any excuse for these two starters. Okay, other than the fact that we are playing in this big spacious ballpark, the wind's blowing out big time. That's for sure. Okay. Padres, my Padres taking on the Pirates, and it's only $1.20. Told some cohorts of mine that I thought this thing would be a lot higher than this price, but nobody's too big of a fan of Randy Vasquez apparently, and I get it. 4.2 ERA Padres, who are having a good season so far for sure, are just 1-3 with Vasquez on the mound. But for Bailey Falter here, a 5.93 ERA and a 3.03 BABIP. Pirates are 1-3, or Falter's 1-3 so far this season. Pirates have gone 4-1-1 to the over with Falter on the mound, but Padres have gone 1-5 to the under with Vasquez on the mound here so far this season. Let's go with your picks here in this one. Teams have pretty much opposite records here after the Padres pounded them last night. Luis Ariz has returned to the Padres lineup and, well, got 3 hits in Ariz fashion there yesterday. Padres have beaten the Pirates in 7 straight games coming into this one. Pirates have lost 5 of their last 6, and also Pirates have lost 6 of their last 7 at home, including 2 straight. Padres on a 3-game winning streak after knocking off the Giants in a couple of games and winning the first game here 9-4 last night in a blowout. So let's see what you have in this one. 4 last 5 meetings between these two teams have gone over here in Pittsburgh, and 4 last 6 games overall between the two. And what do we got? Padres team total over here for Justin Blue is on the Padres on the run line, and so is 9 Legacy here in this one. Wow, great. You guys are taking them run line for that big plus money. They're, like I said, if anything, right, I think that shows why I thought this price would be a lot higher. I thought it'd be $1.50 or so because they own the Pirates. The Padres are, obviously a pretty darn good team, and this bullpen is outrageous here at this point now with a 1.85 ERA. It goes up every game because they've been giving up a run or two every night. But again, it goes up. They're up 9-3. They give up one run or whatever it was, and then all of a sudden the bullpen has a few more earned runs. But still, 1.85 ERA is still nearly 0.65 runs better than the number 2 team in San Francisco. And not only that, you do have a Pirates team that, well, all you can say is not a very good bullpen, 4.26 ERA, not in the bottom 10. Man, did Fernando gave us, we got on the air, I think he gave us the over in this game, and it's already gone over, and, we've only been on the air here for what is it, the first half? Maybe it did take a little longer, but let's see. No, it is. It's only
Final.
It's already 2-2. Yeah, 2-2 there. All right. And for me, I'm on the under here, and I'm taking the under in the Padres in Pittsburgh. I was kind of talking about the bullpens and all that, but probably more so, I should talk about how the Padres and Pirates. Look, I don't think they're totally under teams necessarily so far. Like I said, maybe the series actually goes over, but I'm going under here in this one, especially. Let me see. I got $1.20 up there. Actually, the Pirates are a slight favorite now. Wow. Pirates are favored in the game. Good luck to you. Pirates, yeah, they're going to win this game. It's Major League Baseball. You're still going to win. Even the worst teams are going to win 70 games. It's funny how people used to say that, right? Now they say 60, like a 100 loss season is like an automatic for a bad team. But come on, you guys. Anyways, so the Pirates are favored, $1.15 or maybe less, but I don't know. They're favored here, and the total has gone all the way up to as high as 9.5 under 20. My number here, I think I feels like maybe I had a typo. Yeah, it was never 8. So, but still, 9 over 20, and even 9.5 under 20. I'm on the under for sure. I might have blown it here. Maybe that was a premium. That's a freemium Padres and Pirates. I like the under, and I like the under in this one for sure. Okay. I know Pirates. Actually, everybody says, "Oh, that Pirates," and I just said Pirates bullpen not good. 4.26. That doesn't sound good, but hey, like I said, it's outside of the bottom 10, I believe, right now. It might be number 10 or might be number 20 or 21 or 19. All right, here we go. Robert liking the under with me there, and yeah, we can get 9.5. Okay, next up, Twins with Bailey Ober going against Hunter Dobbins and the Red Sox. Bad news, right? Bueller is on the disabled list now, so Red Sox going to do a little bit of shuffling, maneuvering here with Dobbins. Bueller goes on the disabled list yesterday with shoulder injury, 15-day IL. So a shoulder, that might be early season fatigue with a pitcher like Bueller. I'm not panicking just yet. I didn't actually hear the long-term reports, but I do see 15 days. Hopefully it's okay for Bueller. Boston here did win the opener yesterday by the score of 6-1 for Boston, as they have won. Here, Minnesota 4-game losing streak right now coming into this one. And Boston here, look, Dobbins, I'm not going to fret here with Dobbins making the start. He already does have 2 starts so far this season, 2-0 record. and 2.45 ERA. Decent numbers. 3.12 BABIP, so maybe not totally deserving of that 2.45 ERA, but they won the games. They did go over in both those games. Bailey Over is 3-1 despite a 4.13 ERA, and the Twins are 4-2 with Over on the mound. It's just that the Twins have been pretty bad so far. They're already down 11 and 2/3 units so far this season. Red Sox here, 18-16. That's not profitable for the Red Sox, but they are averaging 5.1 runs per game. Minnesota's done it mostly with that starting pitching, it feels like, so far this season. And because their bullpen is not quite in the middle of the pack, 3.75. Yeah, I guess it is about mid pack, but the starters have been good for the most part, keeping them in games, just like Ober here a little bit. So let's see what you're going to do here in this one. Minnesota's lost 8 of their last 9 games on the road. Doesn't feel like they're really in great position at all here in this one. 11 of the last 16 games between these two teams have gone over, and Boston's won 6 of their last 9 at home. Coming in, Minnesota's lost 4 of their last 5 here against Boston. Overall, Boston's gone over in 5 of their last 7 games coming in. But like I said, Minnesota is a big time under right now for sure. Let's go to the chat here in this one. Minnesota just 2-8 as a dog. And I think they're still a dog. I better make sure after that last one. Minnesota, yeah, Boston, $1.15. Are seeing this total here is definitely 9.5 at minimum. In fact, showing a lot of 9.5 overs, and also we're seeing 10 under right now as the offshore, the square books on offshore. Seeing some 10s out here. Let's go to the chat and get your pick here in this one. We're still on the day. We're still here on the day games right now with Minnesota and Boston. All right. Lots of comments here, it looks like today in there. Oh, what it is, a lot of people have come changing it up here a little bit with Nasty Nate. He likes the Red Sox to smash here in this one. And OCAP's stopping in with his other plays. He's got the Jays. He's got the Padres. Thank you, OCAP's. He's got the Tigers. Doge says you got to go over in this one with Minnesota and Boston right now. Yeah, you hope Minnesota can cooperate, but I think I'm going to be with you, Doge. Here's Boston run line for Jermaine. Red Sox team total over here for Blue. And Jermaine says, oh, Padres and that other. No, Fernando Tatis. And here's Gorky. He's got a little bit of action for us today we've seen Bayern score here against Leipzig finally. All right. Talking about that game between the Memphis Showboats and the Houston Roughnecks here. Thank you for that, Gorky, for that pick. Right now it is Roughnecks 3.5 and the total 38.5. So look, Gorky's made his pick. I'm gonna give you a total on this game at the end of the show. So stick around, UFL fans. Gorky, you're okay to go. You gave us your. He's on the Red Sox and he likes the Stars in the big game tonight. Cash Game likes Twins first 5. Money line. Jermaine's on Boston run line. Gorky likes the Blue Jays. He likes the Nuggets on the money line. Blue is either ducking in binary numbers here, or there's a 3 in there. But basically saying they don't score. Fernando's talking a little German league action there. Twins, no bats. Makes it tough to go over when the bats aren't going. But gosh, I kind of want to go over here. Maybe I'm calling for a big day for Boston. And Peter switches to Boston run line there. All right. I'm on the over here in this one. I'm still going over. I know Minnesota; those are struggling numbers for sure. But you do have, not saying untested. Hunter Dobbins has looked good, but still untested long term, right? Maybe we got something. 9 legacy Red Sox run line. All right. Oh, it was 2-2 here with Bayern here right now, huh? And Leicester 2-0 over there. You can see the scores. They come up behind my head there a little bit. Not right now, they're not, but they do, I've been seeing there get updated there. And all right, let's keep it going though, right here on the show with our final day game here with the Athletics taking on the Marlins. A's are having to shuffle their pitching around here a little bit. You're going to get the Beto Shuffle today with Osvaldo Beto, 4.31 ERA, going up against Max Meyer. We're seeing Max Meyer have a gem, obviously, but, it's look good. I mean, just like a lot of young, there's those scores right now. Let's take a look. In progress here. Udinese 2-1. There's Como leading Parma. Here's Leipzig and Bayern Munich 2-all. Mönchengladbach and Hoffenheim 2-2. Here's Bremen and Berlin 2-1 right now. There's that St. Pauli score right now 0-0. And man, that's not the. We're gonna have to figure out this segment. Everton here 2-1 at halftime. Oh, how about that? Everton, man, 2-1 at halftime. Boy, I'll mark that down here. And Leicester 2-0 over Southampton. There's Villarreal and Osasuna 2-0. And then you got the game still to come over here with Strasbourg and PSG, Lecce and Napoli, Arsenal and Bournemouth, Borussia and Wolfsburg, Las Palmas and Valencia, Toulouse and Rennes, and then the baseball. So, hey, you can always keep up with the latest of the live scoreboard. You got to look between, maybe I could just do this all show. All right, Beto and the Athletics here against the Marlins and Max Meyer. Meyer 3.18 ERA, 3.29 BABIP got me thinking a little bit that, hey, Max Meyer, look, he's mowing them down. We know he can strike out these guys for sure. And we are getting a little bit of a steam report right now on the Warriors and Rockets game number 7, seeing some steam to the over. We know it's been defensive. It was 201.5, but it's going up. We saw it go over still last game. And like I said, 12 of the last 16 NBA playoff games in general have gone over, and we're seeing the move to the over here right now in tomorrow night's big game number 7. Okay, let's talk about this one, though, with Beto and Meyer. Beto's gone under 1-4-1 to the under so far. 1.53 whip and a 291 BABIP for Beto here. But, man, the A's got off again yesterday on these Marlins and were able to win the game and get that first major league victory for Hoagland. It does feel like the Marlins in this losing streak right now, struggling for sure. They've lost 6 straight. A's have, not been great against Miami in their series last year, but the A's have won 5 of their last 6 coming in. The Marlins have lost 5 of their last 7 games at home. Feels like the A's are the better team, doesn't it, right now? The way they're, of course they are. Marlins are 12-19, A's are 18-15. It's just so surprising, right? Maybe it isn't. Remember, I'm holding 2 futures tickets right now, and one of them's on the A's to win the American League pennant. I don't know what I was thinking, but the thing said 55-1, so I'm like, all right, maybe they'll catch lightning in a bottle for 1 year in Sacramento. Maybe they could somehow win this. I don't want to say it's a weak division. Seattle's starting to look pretty good, but the A's are hanging in there right now and looking pretty good. So A's here on the road, favored by $1.25 or so, maybe even $1.30. The total, though, that's another typo right there because the total's 9. And we'll call it. I'll call it dollar. I'll call it $1.30. I think here. I'll call $1.20. I'll call $1.30. Might be $1.25 or so, but nonetheless, you do have Myers. We saw Meyer have that incredible strikeout performance, right? But man, these A's right now, Udinese beat Cagliari 2-1. Uh, Major final just in. Como beat Parma 1-0 there. All right, go to the chat here. We got to get through these night games here in a moment, but this day game here right now, tough to try. Oh, let's put the line on the right team. Did you guys already crack on me in the chat there? There we go. A's are favored, you guys. I'm sure you guys are making fun of me, or maybe you didn't even notice, but all right. Maybe Blue's going over. Maybe Doge is going over. Gorky says he's got Draper today or tomorrow anyway. For Sunday, he's giving us his Sunday plays. We got a great Sunday match tomorrow. We already talked about the women's match here, but you got Rude and Draper. Draper, $2 favorite, looking strong, but man, Casper Ruud, a big dog like that, Gorky. Here's Cash Gain on Marlins money line. And Spoon says Marlins. You know what? I did screw that up. I had it right. I don't know what I was thinking there. Maybe I'm just thinking of my own handicap a little bit. But Spoons actually says he's going with the Marlins here with Max Meyer. Of course, I would think playing a big part of that. Does say, look, he says their best pitcher. Maybe they can hit it here with Beto. Says a public team are the A's here in this one for sure. All right. Nine Legacy says A's are dogs. I got to take them in this one. The widely reported steam did come in on the over in this game. That's funny, Nuke. That is good. Only Nuke would come up with that. And I love that. It's funny. Yep, that it would be classic. Jermaine here on the A's. And Draper is playing great. Rude looking fatigued there. Okay, I guess I got to make my call. And, oh man, Spoons has me worried because, I mean, there's no doubt these A's, I mean, he knows it and I know it. Now, we know Max Meyer. This is, look, this guy's kind of like what we've seen, right, from Miami pitchers a little bit. They get some good pitchers in here, and they look pretty good. I'm going to take the over. I'm going to gotta respect Spoons. I might bet on. Maybe I'll bet on the. I want to take the A's as a dog. Of course I do. Give me the over though in this. I'll take the over. Give me the over. And I screwed it up there, didn't I? I got to put the Marlins as a favorite. There we go. Final. Marlins are the favorite. And like I said, if anything, it's gone up a little bit. You mentioned $1.20, but showing some of the square books a little bit north of that. I don't know if it's actually gone to $1.30, but I do see $1.26 right now. All right, next up, we're in the night card now with the Diamondbacks and Brandon Pfaadt here against Aaron Nola and the Phillies. Phillies $1.25, starting to look the part here. 18-14. Arizona still 17-15, but not without their road woes a little bit. It feels like they still are 9-7 on the road, but and they did win those 2 games at the Mets after losing the first game. And they lost yesterday 3-2, so maybe they can regroup. But Phillies obviously strong here at home, 12-5 so far this season. Phillies are $1.20 total, 9.5 over at minus 115, maybe even 120. We definitely have seen a move to the over, despite the fact that the widely reported steam did come in on the under in this game. Phillies have been going over in nearly every home game for the last week or so when they played at home, right? In fact, it's right now 12 of their last. Yesterday went under, but still 10 of their last 12 games at home have gone under. It was at one point 10 straight overs at home, I think, and then two to the under, right? So it was 5 straight unders to start the season, 10 straight overs at home for the Phillies, and now 2 straight unders. Pretty sure that's how it's gone down. But 8 of the last 11 meetings between these two teams have gone under, including 5 of the last 6 games here in Philadelphia. Arizona has gone over in 6 of their last 9. Arizona dropped 6 of their last 9. Remember, they had that 4-game losing streak and then heated up a little bit, and then before losing last night's game. Philly's gone under actually in 6 of their last 9 overall, but remember they were on the road before they came home and took 2 of 3 from Washington. And look, they're playing pretty decent here right now again. So let's get to it and get your plays in this one between Arizona and Philadelphia here on Saturday. For Fott here, he comes in right now with a 2.78 ERA. He's done pretty well. Nola, 5.4 ERA. What's going on here in this one? And let me see. I've actually screwed things up here a little bit. Jermaine, I think, might be going over here in this one. The alternate line of 10. Blue is on the Phillies. How about a little hello to Irish Thompson here today? I think of Art Thompson, missing Art Thompson too. We haven't seen Art, but it's baseball season, and Art Thompson. So, but also Irish Thompson, and we've got Irish in here. Now we've got Irish Thompson. So Irish Thompson on the over. Thank you, 9 Legacy on Arizona. Robert's on Arizona here as well. And Doge says over. Over. And Spoon says this should be an over here. Look at this. Big time numbers, wind blowing out, home run props. I was on, like I said, I'm doing some segments, with some offshore sportsbook sponsorship. And I was on and do a show every day that appears on a video. And, well, maybe you guys can check it out over at the Cover the Spread channel, sponsored by betnow.eu. And on that show, I gave a pick on the over. You don't need to go over there and watch it, but I'd appreciate it if you did. And you guys already know what it is, what the pick was, because half of you have it. Philly Eagle Flyers on the Diamondbacks here. And thank you, Nuke. Have a great day. And a special shout out to your wife. Hello to Nuke's wife. All right. Philly Eagle Flyer on the over here. And I'll say her name. I'll say her name, Nuke, if you're still around and she can hear me. Schwarber hit a home run here. Gorky likes the Blues in the big game tomorrow. Thank you, Blue. Got to go as well. Everybody's leaving me. We've got 85 of you in here right now, and I've got the Philadelphia Phillies. I'm kind of going against my chat here. It feels like, seems like most of them are on Arizona. I would think, look, given the price, Fox pitch better. Maybe I would too. I'm going to take the Phillies in this one. I'm maybe thinking, look, we know that Nola, he's 0-5. Okay, he's 0-5. Fox 5-1 so far. I'm taking the Phillies today. I'm taking the Phillies. All right, let's see here. I think that's it for you guys on this one. Let's go to the Nationals taking on the Reds here with Trevor Williams going up against Lodolo right now. Look at Lodolo, a 2.25 ERA. This Reds pitching, not going to complain right now. Lodolo is so far 3-2, and they are 4-2 overall with Lodolo on the mound, and the numbers are good. 197 batting average against, .86 ERA and 2.18 BABIP. That all adds up to good pitching from Lodolo so far this season, going up against a Washington team here with Trevor Williams. Williams a 5.7 ERA, 1.53 WHIP, 307 batting average against a 351 BABIP. That's no good. Not good, but you have a huge price here with the Reds in this one at now $1.90, total 8.5,
Final.
maybe 8.5 flat. It might be moving up here a little bit, even though the widely reported steam did come in on the under in this game. Still does feel like you've got a real decent starter here so far in Lodolo, but the Sharps, they're clearly on Washington in this one, and I don't feel real comfortable with that, but probably should respect what they're doing. Let's see what you guys have in this one. Like I said, widely reported steam came in on the under, but uh, right now it's it is down
Final.
to 8.5. Let me correct that. Oh no, there it is. Okay, 8.5. But it was 9. There were 9s out there in this game. 9 under, but nonetheless, it does feel like the move here is to the yeah, it is to the under, obviously. Okay, maybe I just misread it there. Okay, for these two, Cincinnati, they've won 7 of their last 9
Final.
coming into this one. Meanwhile, Washington, not good on the road so far this season, just 5-12. We did see just moments ago steam coming in on the New York Mets on the road. You guys were on them. Steam consensus, and the word is out now that the Mets were, as we know, $1.40. We were even talking about them lower than that, but right now it's through the roof. The New York Mets here are currently up to $1.75 at the square books, man. This thing's gone up 35 cents, it feels like, since we've been on the air, and the move is clearly on the Mets in that game against St. Louis. All right, we're here on this one, though, with Washington and Cincinnati. Washington's lost 4 of their last 5 games coming in. Like I said, the Sharps are clearly on Washington here. You're supposed to respect this move. Cincinnati's lost 7 of the last 10 games, actually, at home against Washington, and 7 of the last 10 games overall. Washington's gone 5. Is it 5-12 on the road? Okay, we already said that. Let me go to the chat. Give me the picks. I think we got what we need here. With Reds run line, Doe says they're good. And 9 Legacy says Cincinnati on the run line. And Twisted says, anybody bet boxing? How about the fight? Come on, you guys. How did we miss that one last night with Garcia? Come on. Garcia was a huge favorite. Look, Garcia's out there. He is sketchy, right? We see him getting drunk. I mean, I don't know if you guys, I watch poker. I watch poker streams. As kind of after all the games are over, sometimes I put on some of those poker streams on YouTube or on Poker Go because I like, Bayern Munich scores, Bayern Munich, goal, 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 goal. They have scored here in the 83rd minute and have taken the lead over Leipzig after trailing 2-0. Of course they're going to come back every time, aren't they? And they've taken the 3-2 lead here in the match. Okay, so what was I? I see him get on the hustler stream, getting all drunk, playing shitty poker. Looks like he's on some pills or something. Just some who knows what's going on. But Garcia is totally sketchy. I know there's some boxing tonight, and of course, it's a third every 3 weeks. Inoue's fighting, and he's a 10,000 favorite there. And we also have Canelo tonight, 3,300. You know what? I'll give you my play right now. Canelo by decision. By decision, you'll get a great price. Canelo by decision tonight. Over Skull. He is a 4 dime favorite, I think, in that one. And then tomorrow morning or tomorrow night, I guess, Inoue it fights again. So also Espinoza and Vasquez. But last night there was a nice card as well, we know. All right. Doge says you still got to take the Reds. You're right, Doge. They should crush these guys, no doubt.
Final. Critical notice.
All right, things are popping up here, and we got to step on it here a little bit. Get this show over with. I'm going to take the under here with Washington and Cincinnati. We'll see what I'll do about the side. All right. Philly Eagle Flyers got that BTTS going. There's some steam coming in right now on the Yankees. I told you, Yarborough, they'd probably prefer him. I don't know. I don't know why the steam is coming in, but it's coming in big time on the Yankees. They're betting the Mets and the Yankees apparently today. And the Yankees right now are going north of 225 here on the morning steam. So, look, we don't, like I said, this is a real machine giving us real info over here, not something just making noises to, So 225 right now. Yankees taking the steam here this morning on the morning steam show. All right. Okay, I think that might be. Jermaine's with me on the under. And let's keep it going. I got to speed it up here. Like I said, we're almost done. Seattle and Texas today with the Mariners on the road looking good, aren't they? And it's the real Luis Castillo here going for Seattle. For Castillo, getting to Castillo-like numbers here eventually. 3.62 ERA, 244 batting average against, a 292 BABIP. Castillo comes in with a record of 3-2. He's up against Corbin here, so everybody's ready to roll. I don't know how Seattle is in $1.90 here in this one, but they are $1.25, $1.30 or so in this one. The total is up to 9, no doubt about it. It's already gone up. Here from an 8.5. It's a 9 flat here at this point on the widely reported steam that did come in on the over here in this one. Man, come on, this Seattle team right now looking pretty good with this winning streak. Not to be headed, it feels like. Seattle's won 5 straight. They've also beaten the Rangers in 9 of the last 10 meetings between the two teams. Seattle's gone over in 6 straight with this offense, averaging 5.3 runs per game. It's usually Seattle needing offense, and they're getting it here. They've gone over 18 and 11 to the over so far this season. The Rangers having offensive woes coming in. Just 3.2 runs per game, and they're 10 and 23 to the under so far this season, despite the fact the widely reported steam came in on the over. And yesterday's game, yes, it was 13-1, but the Rangers scored 1. Now, the Mariners may go off on them again, but 13 is what we call an outlier for any major league team, right? So, yes, maybe it'll be a blowout. Seattle is kicking ass when it comes to scoring runs here right now, but still, these Ranger games, massive unders at home, 3-15 to the unders so far. Seattle 9-4 to the over on the road. With all those runs scored and this streak, but Texas has lost 6 of their last 7 coming in, 3 in a row. They got lost 3 or 4 to the A's and got blown out here in this one. I'm still going here with, well, let's see what you guys have. Let me go to the chat. Let me not get carried away here. Sharps are on Texas here, I'll tell you that. But again, like someone said in the chat, screw the Sharps. Let's go. Here we go with Gorky's heading over to the horse racing coverage. I can endorse that. Head on over to Razor Sharp Picks Network for horse racing coverage. I'll get there eventually. Here, I may show up right in time for the Derby, but he'll have more company today than he did yesterday. And Nine Legacy says Mariners on the run line. And Doge says smash spot always fade Corbin. Corbin so far 3.79 ERA, but a 3.56 BABIP.
System play.
And here Robert says take the Rangers. All right. Well, I'm going to make my call here in this one between Seattle and Texas here today. And I'm going to go back to the under here. I can't get off the under, it feels like, on these Texas games, even though I took it on the chin yesterday. I got to go under. Ken Mizrahi. Great to have Ken Mizrahi in here, chat room. Sports betting chat rooms legend here. He's got the Mariners to mash. And Jermaine, Seattle team total over. Chill Will here today. He says the same thing. Take that Mariners team total over. Cubs and Brewers here. Jameson Tyone for these Cubbies. 20-13 right now for the Cubs. And Tyone, hey, 401 ERA so far. 233 batting average against and a 109 whip. Going up against Jose Quintana. Quintana, 1.14 ERA, 4.0 the whip. Even though the Cubs here come in hot and the Brewers have lost 2 straight, including the first game of the series yesterday, 10-0. They got blown out. You do have Quintana off to, I don't know, it's got to be the best start of his career here, 4-0 so far. 1.14 ERA, 226 batting average against, and a respectable 265 BABIP. Shows that Quintana has done a nice job so far, but hard to ignore another victory by Chicago. Now, Milwaukee has defeated Chicago in 6 of the last 9 meetings between the two teams, but the Cubs do come in having won 8 of their last 12, and Milwaukee has lost 6 of their last 9, but they are 9-5 at home so far this season. Good home numbers, and they're 12-5 as a favorite, which they are right now with Quintana favored here. Could be a pick'em. I'm going to call it a pick'em actually now. So let's not even discuss favoritism here. Total in this one is 8.5. Pretty much 8.5 flat, it feels like right now. So let's go, chat, and see what you like in this one between the Cubs and the Brewers here today. Good game, no doubt. Brewers, hey, a game under 500, but I don't think we're kicking them to the curb just yet in this division. Let's see how you guys are playing it. With Irish King here. Let's see what he's got. Boston Red Sox money line, team total over, Cincinnati minus 1.5, and Seattle versus Texas going over. Thank you, Irish King. We've got Irish Thompson in here. We've got Irish King in here. Irish King says A's and Rooker to hit home run. Irish King, Cubs money line, Cash Cane. Brewers money line, and Doge says Tyone under in his K-prop. Ken Mizrahi says, I gotta like the Cubbies still in this one. Does feel like Quintana, though, pretty strong numbers here. Robert likes first 5 under in this one. All right, time for me to make my call here, and I'm going to go under here with the Cubs and Milwaukee. Next up, I'm sorry, one more here is Milwaukee money line for 9 Legacy. Dodgers and Braves. Hiroki Sasaki going for the Dodgers. Schwellenbach going for the Braves. Dodgers were able to get it done last night, 2-1. Had that rain delay there in the ninth inning, but they were able to win over the Braves yesterday. We did have the under as our pick here on the show. In that one. So the Dodgers, Sasaki, a 3.55 ERA coming into this one. 198 batting average against, a 221 BABIP. 6 starts, just 1 decision. Not much run support for Sasaki. For Schwellenbach here, 2.87 ERA, a 0.98 whip, and a 222 batting average against. So Schwellenbach, pretty good numbers as well. Dodgers come in. They're just hot. 6 in a row. They've beaten the Braves in 6 straight. They're just the greatest thing, aren't they, these Dodgers? Still, they're an underdog today against these Braves, who are 3 games under 500. Whatever. I'm not going here with, well, let's just say the Sharps are on Atlanta. It feels like, anyway, at this point. I don't want them. I don't necessarily want them here anywhere as a favorite. I tell you what, the Dodgers are $1.35. I'd be on the Braves, but if the Braves are $1.20 or whatever they are, I'm on the Dodgers, man. Come on, give me the Dodgers to win again. Jeez, Braves, maybe they're starting to get it together, but what happened yesterday? They could only manage 1 run. Yeah, they were going up against Yoshi Yamamoto. But I got to think, look, that total's pretty high, isn't it? I'm going to take the Dodgers here as my play in this one. I got to go with the Dodgers. I didn't even go to the chat, did I? Let's say who got what in this one with, hey, Patrick, the sports betting groovy alien here today. I don't know what that says there. I'll let them respond to that. Our picks are all documented, Patrick, on the, I think, right, on the old spreadsheet back there. I don't know what's going on. Okay, Braves money line here for 9 legacy. Cash gain on the Braves. And Atlanta, though, for Irish King there. And let's see, we've got Robert here on the under. And let's see, Sasaki going to get lit up. All right. I think that's going to do it for this one. I got to take the Dodgers here. All right, next up is the Royals taking on the Orioles with Chris Bubik going up here against Sugano here in this one. Let's take a look at this one right now. And we've got for Chris Bubik coming in here. He's got a 2.25 ERA. He's been good, no doubt about it, with a 213 batting average against, 278 BABIP. Sugano, also good numbers, an ERA of 3. We're starting to see this guy look better for sure. 250 batting average against here right now. He's a 3-1 record for the Orioles, despite all those, early season wasn't so great, it felt like, but let's see how you going to go with this one with Kansas City and Baltimore. Kansas City comes in having won 9 of their last 11 following the loss here yesterday to the Orioles. Orioles won the game 3-0. And hey, we had the under here in this one, and you may have seen me on another channel giving out the Orioles there yesterday, despite Kansas City hot here. They did lose to Baltimore last time out. 5 of the last 7 meetings between the two teams have gone under. 4 of the last 5 meetings between these two teams have gone under when they played here in Kansas City. Baltimore has gone under in 9 of their last 10 games overall, and Kansas City is 5-11-1 to the under on the road. The widely reported steam did come in on the under here, and
Final.
should be an under, I think, but let's go to the chat and see what you have. I might have to pivot. Let me see the way you guys are going to play it here in this one, and then I'll decide which one I'm going to use, I think. All right, here we go with, let's see, Twisted San Francisco under there, Jermaine Dodgers over, and Irish King San Francisco. So
Final.
you guys are
Final.
on an old game there a little bit. Nobody really, nothing here. I'll give you guys another second or two. Werder and Union Berlin final to all. Mets lineup is in Lindor, Soto, Alonso, Nimmo, Winker, Vientos, Acuna, Torrens, and Taylor. All right. And let's see. Robert did go with the under in this game. I mean, you got these massive number. Like I said, Orioles all unders here right now. It feels like, but let me get that price back up there. And Spoon says if Sally may sit out, because the thing is that, right, Spoons. I think. Look, I don't even know if I've ever studied this, but Sally likes to play the day games, and he sometimes takes the night game before the day game off. It does give him that little bit of extra window, and I don't know. It seems like Sally always plays in the day games, doesn't it? And Earth to Air de Billionaire. I love this name of Earth to Air de Billionaire. Nice to have you. Philly Eagle Flyer is going to go down to Birmingham live. So with the Orioles here at $1.15, they opened a little bit higher than this, I believe, here, but the widely reported steam did come in on the under here. I'm going to take the under in this one. Give me the under with Kansas City and Baltimore. All right. Let's go one more here now to final game here on the card with Detroit taking on the Angels and the Tigers. Right now, big favorite. And they did put away the Angels there yesterday, big time, to get yet another run line victory for these Tigers. Man, they are hot. Tigers' 3-game winning streak doesn't tell the story. They are right now 11-5 as a run line favorite so far this season. The Angels are on a bad one. They've lost a lot of games in a row. They're having injury woes. How many is it? 10 straight now? I don't know how many it is for the Angels, but they are struggling big time here right now. I'm sure it's going to be all Tigers run line at this point. I don't know if I can even get off this one and might want to roll with even though it's 1-1. Remember, it's 1-1 in the top of the 9th inning there yesterday, but it didn't matter. They end up rolling in the end there yesterday. So let's see if you guys are gonna play it as a Detroit romp here. Detroit $1.90 does feel like it. It's probably the line is probably more reflective of the Angels' losing streak rather than maybe where the team truly stands, even though maybe now at 12-19, this is exactly where they stand. This one feels probably overwhelming. I don't even know if we got any consensus out of this today because I did such a bad job. I think we're just like the drawing may be canceled. Twisted's got a little beer money parlay. Mets money line, Cubs money line, Kansas City money line, Philadelphia money line. Jermaine says lay the Tigers. Doge lay the Tigers here. Widely reported steam did come in on the under in this game. Right now I'm showing it at 8.5. even some 9-unders here at this point in this one, and I have it listed there as 8. Look, it was a total under yesterday until the last uh, split seconds in the last top of the 9th inning there with Riley. What's that cat's name? Not Austin Riley. Riley. He had 2 home runs. Riley. What's it? Riley Green. Riley Green. Come on, we all know Riley Green. All right. I don't know. Do we just do it here today and just go square here? It feels like in this one with Detroit today at -1.5 at. Let me get the right price here. I don't think I've laid a run line yet, right, on the show today. So, gotta feel bad for what's going on with we did with Houston there, but I'll do it here. There's something broken here. -1.5, -$1.20 or so for Detroit. I gotta take the run line. This Angel team is all of a sudden broken big time. That's gonna do it for the morning steam. Maybe there's a few more comments here. Chill Will on the Tigers. Doge got there with that over.
Critical notice.
That's going to do it. Oh, one more here real quick. I said I would give the total out. I'm going on the game between the Memphis Showboats and the Houston Roughnecks here. I got to go under in this one. The widely reported steam did come in on the over here, but just like last night, I'm not going over anything. With totals over like 35 in this league right now. Sure, we may get some overs here eventually, and we have gotten a few more of late, but this league has been a total under, and at 38, I think I'm going to have to go under here in this one with Memphis. Gorky said earlier, right? I think he said take the 3.5 points. Oh, gosh, Gorky there. With that, I'm sorry, Gorky. I think he said take the dog. Oh, boy. All right. That's going to do it for the Morning Steam show here today. Thank you, everybody. Be back tomorrow, 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific, with more Morning Steam. Irish Thompson's going with the Tigers on the run line there. Thank you. Join me here tomorrow morning, but also don't forget our live companion coverage tonight, UFC Fight Night, with Sanhagen and Figueiredo from Des Moines, Iowa. You know, they got the wrestlers going in there to Iowa here this week, it feels like. So it should be fun tonight. Join the guys here at 6:45 Eastern. Well, maybe we'll call it 7 Eastern because we do have that action here today with the Kentucky Derby. They'll kind of lead into that. And not here on this network. Go join Razor, but it should be a great time with him over there today. I'm going to try to get over there eventually as well. Hey, you can get my best plays today over at winnable.com. I've got my UFC card up there ready and available. Check out my plays today over at winnable.com/Ramon. We've got my top plays for the action here tonight in the UFC. I think all but 1 or 2 fights where I had a play there. I went a little bit different this week because with the card this week, I thought the plays were a little bit different for me. So please check me out over at winnable.com/Ramon. Use the promo code STEAM to save 20%. And really appreciate that. This is how you support me here on the channel, coming back here every day to join you and do this show here on the Sports Money Network. And I really do appreciate the support. Getting some good support out there, actually, from the subscribers. So thanks a lot. All right. I think that's going to do it here. Really appreciate it, everybody. And be back tomorrow, like I said, 9 a.m. Eastern and 6 Pacific with more Morning Steam. Tex likes Coco to win in tennis. here today in that big match against Sabalenka, and it begins in just 1 hour from now. So that's going to be awesome here for sure. Okay. I think that does it. Let me bring myself back up here. I don't have the drawing, you guys. We just didn't have I think we had one. You guys were trying to tell me some others. We had that pitching change. We need Thomas back here desperately because we're just not getting it done right now, or I'm not. My bad. Maybe I don't want to give away the. We don't. We do want to give it away. I'll try to do a better job with that for sure. With the contest, man, that's not cool for me not to be able to focus in. I just got to train myself if Thomas isn't going to be here to be on top of it and make sure I see when it's a consensus. It's a consensus. So I've got to do a better job of that. Okay. College baseball this today. I've got the plays here. ASU and Baylor. Want to take you to go over 12 runs in that Big 12 matchup. Go over with ASU and Baylor. We had some good plays there yesterday. If you saw me on another channel, went 2-0 with our plays there in college baseball yesterday. So see if we can't get the other one here today. I think we've got it here. Let's just go with that one for now. ASU and Baylor over 12 runs. All right. Thanks a lot, everybody. For the Sports Money Network, I'm Ramon Scott. So long.
Cover, that's gonna cover, that's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice, we might play a parlay. It's the morning steam. Ramon Scott, sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money. You know how we do it.